Welcome back to Gran Turismo 7 today, guys. We are on a bit of a grind lately. This is the sixth video I filmed, or fifth video I think I filmed. No, yeah, fifth video filmed back to back. And today we're starting a kind of a new series. I'm going to be kind of showing you guys some of my builds and doing a bit of a showcase on them. And what better one to start than when you guys have already kind of had a sneak peek of. If you guys watched the daily race video I did earlier on, like within, I don't know how I'm uploading these videos. I'm doing them daily, semi-daily, whatever. If you watched the recent daily race video I did, you guys saw this car at the very beginning. This is my 991 GT3 RS, but obviously you can tell there's a lot of things different about this. And that is because I have created a GT3 Touring, in effect. Kind of more closer to the 911R, but also, just to be honest, it's an RS without the wing on it. It's closer to the 911R, or in the 992's case, the 911 ST. So it's got the same front and rear fenders, it's got the side scoops, which the Tourings didn't get, but it's got this wingless portion, and you can actually download this livery or this style. If you look up my username, which I'll put on screen, some of the shared styles I have include some cup car stuff and a smorgasbord of these GT3 Touring liveries. So it's got the side decal, the wingless look, and a little 991 license plate with the rear sticker, as well as the sticker on the deck lid. So very cool. Interior is still GT3 RS as standard. So the only other thing is the transmission. This will obviously show a PDK, but I've swapped in a manual transmission to make the feel more authentic. So this is what's done to the car. You guys can see we've got sport soft tires, we've got ECU, we got custom ECU, we have the completely customizable manual transmission, which I believe has the same gear ratios as the real car. I'm not entirely sure on that. Obviously no turbochargers, and you're probably wondering why turbochargers is even an option. That's because if you look at the engine model, you notice it is engine swapped. This build is equipped with the RSR engine. I really wanted to try one of these GT3 RSs with the RSR motor, and I, for some reason, decided it'd be really cool to try it with a manual transmission, and the only manual swapped 991 RS I had was my Touring build. So it got the RSR motor because obviously I've got a lot of seat time in the RSR. My Rexy has 1,000+ miles on it. So wanted to put some time into this. Now, unfortunately, I will not be able to show off the stick shift stuff in this video, and that is because when I upgraded to my new sim rig, if you guys didn't see last week before last, whenever this video goes up, it was within a recent past time frame, I got rid of my Thrustmaster T300 RS and went to a Fanatec system. I don't have a shifter for the Fanatec. I opted not to get one at the beginning of that because I hated reaching forward for my shifter. So you're obviously going to tell it's a manual, but just take my word for it. I wish I had the stick shift where I could use my clutch pedal and all that stuff, but unfortunately we'll not be able to do that today. So let's head to a track of my choice. Some of these I'm going to do in the Nürburgring, some of these I'm not. This time around we are going to do the Nürburgring. Just because I want to spend some time talking about this car and just showcasing it for you guys. We're going to do the Taurus layout because that's kind of been my go-to for testing most of these cars. Obviously a handful of cars I do full Nordschleife laps with. This one, not so much. So the fastest time I've ever done here is in my other GT3 RS 991, and that was a 635. This was a full built car. These two RSs are some of the fastest cars I've ever built street-wise. You guys saw this video with the GTI Vision to Gran Turismo. And then obviously we have some of these times down here. This is like a TCR build. This car is the one that I raced in esports in 2022 for the first couple races of a season we did. This thing was a disaster. I believe this I don't think it's the same one from Racing Modified. And some of these other cars are here as well. I don't know where this is going to sit. I do not think it's going to touch any of these upper cars. I think honestly with the build, it's probably going to shoot about where this TT is, that 756 range. I do not expect this car to be a killer at this point. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, we are out here at the Nordschleife. So you guys can hear the hesitation and shifting. Like I said, I don't know where this is going to go on the lap board because it's just, quite frankly, it's not meant for this. This is a car I built for fun, for me, to just putt around in this game and just enjoy. It's got some gear wine in it, but I think all the fully customizables do. It's actually surprisingly rewarding to drive. So, some of you guys may not know, but I had the very, very fortunate time of 2020 back in 2023 to spend some time in a GT3 RS, actually a 991.1 car. I think it's like a 2014 or something like that, but it was a lava orange car, and for a while I actually had a lava orange RS to kind of be a reference to that day. I bought it the day I went and drove the real car, and I loved it. Honestly, the VR does it justice, because this is exactly what it felt like to be in that car in real life. Flood plats, this thing does surprisingly good. No unfortunate air hang time there. But yeah, I got some seat time in the real car. And yeah, I mean, it was only on a tight little autocross course, and it was a wet day, so only got to do like a little bit of craziness with it. So that kind of sucks. I wasn't able to push it to its limits, but not the worst thing ever. I enjoyed it. I love that car. It was definitely a meet your heroes moment, even with the fact that it was a wet autocross course. I'm just glad I was still able to do it. I remember the excitement leading into that day, and that is actually a day I chronicled. If you follow my main channel, my automotive channel, I did a video about that. You guys can actually watch me drive the GT3 RS. So if you guys don't follow my main channel, V-Dubbin with Jordan, it's a great source for Volkswagen content, and sometimes, on the very rare occasion, Porsche content. So, oh, that did not like that corner all too good. Kind of dirt drop it there. So it does obviously sound a lot different, because the RSR was not done justice in this game. The RSR in real life is extremely loud. It's ear piercing. It makes a ton of noise. Like, it screams. Like, you know, the RSR in this game, though, it's like a slightly louder Turbo S, really, in terms of volume. It's like they modeled it with some crazy muffler on it or something like that. I know some tracks required that. But when you build out an RS, it sounds like what the RSR should sound like. So, like I said, that's why this thing is not shrieking at us, is because it's got that RSR engine. I really wanted to know what it was like to drive the RSR powertrain, but with a manual transmission. I think that's why the gear whine is so bad, because I think, or not so bad, I actually love gear whine, but so loud is because you tend to get a lot more gear whine with the Group 3 engines in these cars. Like, my M3 GTR build is the same way. It's probably one of the best cars in terms of being on sports tires that I've ever driven in this game. It still feels like a GT3 RS, even without the big wing on the back. It still feels at home, which is interesting. Alright, we're coming up into the carousel. Let's see what we can do. See how she takes the carousel. I did a lap in a 959 the other night on this game on stream, and it was surprisingly stable out here, but I think this is honestly more stable. And it feels faster, but I mean, obviously it's going to feel faster. It's significantly newer, and I think it actually makes more power than the 959 does stock. A little bit understeer there, nothing too crazy. Ooh, the whole thing came unglued a little bit there. A little bit of limiter. Oh, I botched it. Uh-oh. Dang, a little bit too much grass there. That's fine. This will still be a solid lap. Very minor mistake. I mean, it major in terms of it affecting the lap time, but you know, that kind of stuff happens. It's not like I freaking like totaled the car out or anything. A little bit of hang time there, not a whole lot. A little floaty through this sector. Oh, this corner has always been a killer for some of these cars. All right, here we go as we enter the straight here, leading back up to the start finish here on the Taurus lap. See what we can get this thing up to before we have to slow down. 260 kilometers. 280 kilometers. 290 kilometers or so. We're really having to slam these brakes. Let's see if we can make it through here clean without totaling the car out. Oh! Not bad. 716, not terrible. I think that is well above what I thought I would run. Obviously, if I didn't smash the wall there towards the end of the lap, probably would have been a little bit faster, but in case you want to know what the interior looked like without the wing in the back, there you go. So, that definitely was a solid lap. Let's see where it wound up, excuse me, on the leaderboard here at the Taurus lap. It wound up what appears to be P6. So it actually beat my 2022 esports car by a pretty substantial margin on sports softs. That's crazy. I think that is by far the fastest car to ever lap here with me behind the wheel on sports tires. And the fact it took out 2 cars on racing softs, I assume 3 cars, is pretty crazy. And it was only about 2 seconds off of touching the Mark 7 touring car build, which is probably would have done if I didn't bin it. So yeah, that's pretty wild. So now that means there are now 3 Porsches making up or 4 Porsches making up the top 10 of my Nürburgring leaderboard. But that is going to wrap this one up. A little bit of a build showcase for you guys. I'm going to start doing these a little bit more often, showcase some of the cars that I've really come to enjoy here in GT7, and just show you guys some of my favorite builds. So I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.